Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. New Bucs pass rusher Haason Reddick missed the first week of OTAs, all three practices in Tampa. Is there any cause for concern considering that Reddick missed the entire offseason, not to mention training camp and the first 7 games of last year with the Jets? Well, that's the topic of today's Pewter Pulse video, and I'll get into that in just a moment. First, your reminder, hit the thumbs up button on this video. Give it a like. Also, leave a comment. I love reading your comments. And when you do those two things, it not just helps us with the YouTube algorithm, it can also help save humanity from AI and from Skynet. Of course, I'm just kidding, but we greatly appreciate that. When you do that, it helps us get our videos in front of more awesome Bucs fans like you. And also, thank you for helping us reach 19,000 subscribers on our Pewter Report TV YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate that. We're on the way to 20,000, and you can help by simply hitting the subscribe button on Pewter Report TV on YouTube. It's free, so thank you very much. Okay, so should we be worried about Haason Reddick missing the first week of OTAs with the Bucs? Let's talk about it. All right, I know some of you are having flashbacks to last year when Randy Gregory was signed as a veteran pass rusher in free agency. And his only appearance at one Buc place was to actually sign the contract and then do a Zoom interview with the media. Then he was gone. Then Randy Gregory proceeded to skip OTAs, skip the mandatory minicamp, and then skip training camp before the Bucs ultimately cut him. Did you know that the Bucs actually made money on the Gregory signing because his accumulated fines surpassed the signing bonus he received from Tampa Bay? Crazy story, but it's true. But I don't think Haason Reddick skipping OTAs is another Randy Gregory situation at all. Gregory just simply didn't want to play football anymore. He's done with the NFL. That's not the case for Haason Reddick. And I know some of you remember last year when Reddick was traded from the Eagles to the Jets because he wanted a new contract. And when he didn't get it, he proceeded to hold out and skip the OTAs and the mandatory minicamp and training camp, and even held out the first 7 games of the regular season in New York. And that strategy backfired as he wasn't in the best shape, didn't know the defense, didn't really know his teammates. There was no on-field chemistry, and he proceeded to get just 1 sack in 10 games in 2024. And that hurt his reputation as a pass rusher, not to mention his wallet when it came to the paychecks he left up on the table, plus the fines he accumulated with his holdout. And it also hurt him when it came to free agency this year. He didn't get the big mega contract he was looking for. But I don't think that Reddick is holding out over money at all. This is not a holdout. After all, he chose Tampa Bay in free agency this offseason. It's where he wanted to play. It wasn't like he was forced on the Bucs, like he was forced on the Jets last year with the trade from the Eagles. He actually agreed to terms on his 1-year, $14 million deal with $12 million guaranteed from Tampa Bay. He knew what he was getting into with the Bucs, and he seemed really sincere during his press conference about having a bounce-back season in red and pewter in 2025. And I still think that's going to be the case. Besides, Reddick is thrilled to be reunited with Larry Foote, who is the Bucs' new outside linebackers coach. Foote was Reddick's position coach out in Arizona when he was drafted by the Cardinals to be an inside linebacker, and that was the position that Foote coached with the Cardinals back then. I don't think there's any cause for alarm, Bucs fans. I really don't. It's also worth noting that Reddick has actually been to one Buc place this offseason, and not just to sign his contract and meet with the media. No, he took part in the Phase 1 conditioning program back in April. And this is photographic evidence from the team photographers at buccaneers.com. There he is training in Tampa with Bucs gear on at the facility. So he's already ahead of Randy Gregory when it comes to that. I think this is a very good sign. I really do. I don't think there's anything to worry about right now with Haason Reddick. Would the Bucs have loved for him to be in attendance during the first week of OTAs? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they? Was there some level of disappointment? Yeah, they want to see their new toy, right? They want to see what the veteran pass rusher has and what he looks like on the field doing some football drills. But this isn't training camp yet. The pads aren't on. We're not going to see the best of Haason Reddick in shorts and a t-shirt and a helmet anyways. But, as the late, great Monty Kiffin once told me, the first step in getting better is showing up. If you don't show up, you can't get better. But I'll also remind you that Mike Evans, Vita Vea, Levante David didn't show up for OTAs either. And all of those guys, what do they have in common? Well, they're 30 years of age or older. And so is Haason Reddick. He'll turn 31 later this year. It's common around the league for aging veterans to skip OTAs. Even Tristan Wirfs, who's not 30 yet, was a no-show during the first week. The Bucs did have a great turnout for the voluntary workouts, but it wasn't a perfect turnout. No NFL team has perfect attendance for the OTAs because they are voluntary. That's the key word. Now, for some reason, if Reddick doesn't show up for the mandatory minicamp from June 10th to June 12th, then maybe it's time to be concerned. Even if he skips next week's OTAs, I don't think it's time to sound the alarm just yet. Yes, Reddick needs to understand the nuances and the intricacies of Todd Bowles' defensive scheme and develop some chemistry with the outside linebackers he'll be playing with and the defensive tackles that he'll be stunting with. But guess what? Haason Reddick knows how to fill a gap in the run game. He knows how to get after the quarterback. He's an accomplished pass rusher. He doesn't need the OTAs to really hone in and perfect his craft. He just needs to kind of touch some things up. And I think he can do that either in the mandatory minicamp and certainly in training camp. But there's plenty of time to get all of that stuff down and learn Bowles' scheme in the month of August, which is when training camp will be in full swing. Besides, all that Haason Reddick's absences did last week was just give more reps to the team's young, developing pass rushers, guys like Yaya Diaby and Chris Braswell, rookie David Walker, who looks phenomenal, by the way, Marquise Watts, Jose Ramirez, and others. That's not a bad thing. Don't lose faith in Haason Reddick just yet, Bucs fans. He'll be in Tampa Bay sooner or later, hopefully sooner. And hopefully we'll be at 20,000 subscribers on our YouTube page. I think we will by the start of the season, thanks to you guys. Greatly appreciate all the support you've given us for our YouTube channel. And we've got Todd Bowles coming up on the Pewter Report podcast on Monday, June 2nd. And Jason Light, the Bucs general manager, will be making an appearance the next Monday, June 9th. So look forward to those two interviews. They'll be an hour long each on Pewter Report TV. Make sure that you are there for those live interviews. We're looking forward to it. So make sure you check out Pewter Report TV. So hit the subscribe button, help us get to 20,000. We've got the Pewter Pulse videos, Pewter Report podcasts, and other great Bucs video content. We'll be at OTAs next Tuesday, as well as the mandatory minicamp for all 3 days the following week before the summer break. Make sure you're following us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report, and visit pewterreport.com, the mothership, for my SR's Fab 5 column, plus other great content leading up to the Bucs mandatory minicamp. And I'll be back soon with a new Pewter Pulse.